You cannot leave children alone. Children want to know what's right, what's wrong. You tell them. Amen. Okay, and by the way, what you feed yourself, you don't feed your children. When Justin just turned to solid food, it's not like we give him burger, boy. Can I give him burger? I got to give him all these squash fruits and all that, right? Because they can't take it. So likewise, be careful. Even movies, you don't mind your children. That's the reason. Even the world is saying PG-13. And you allow your child of 10, 11 watching it. I don't understand. Even the world is setting a standard already. Shouldn't our standards be higher? By the way, PG-13 nowadays, whoa. My goodness, the things that they show on PG-13. One of our fathers, our worship leader, Aaron Tabansky, not too long ago, allowed his boys, who are now 14, all right, to watch Transformers Part 1. All right, you know Megan Fox. So he was holding the remote in his hand all the time. So in other words, certain place, all right, they are there to watch the robots. And they are teenagers. Their hormones are bubbling. So that's a responsible father. He watches what they watch. Amen. You cannot just let things go and then wonder how come all this happened. And then the parents will say, Pastor, I love them. It's sick love. True love will give boundaries. That's right. True love will give you, this is right, this is wrong. And sometimes they need your strength. They may not even want to go for that wild party. Their friend is inviting them. Let's say they don't want. But they, at that age, they do not know how to say no to their friends. They want you to say no to them. So they can turn to their friend and say, my parents say no. My father says no. So you become the strength in their life. It's okay. At this age, it's all right. And sometimes kids cannot say no because they never hear no at home. Everything, the kid wants, the kid gets. And we are so afraid of displeasing our children. Lest, if we displease, if I say no, my kid might grow up and then become WAP personality and then appear on Oprah Winfrey to talk about how I grew up. My father never gave me this. My father rebuked me one time. We are so afraid. No, children that are corrected become holistic. Become great children. Amen. There's a great man of God in the Bible. God calls him a man after my own heart. And again, this shows the beauty of God's grace. He wasn't perfect. We know that he was involved in adultery, then murdered the wife's husband. Another thing that is seldom known is that David was quite an indulgent father. Broke David's heart many times. When David was dying on his deathbed in his old age, David, by now, Absalom, the son that he loved, has died many years already. Absalom has a younger brother. He was a good-looking guy, reminded David of his son Absalom. All right? And his name was Adonijah. But Adonijah had a problem, pride. And Adonijah exalted himself. Follow the story here. Then Adonijah, the son of Haggith, exalted himself, saying, I will be king. And he prepared for himself chariots and horsemen and 50 men to run before him. Now listen. Adonijah is not supposed to be king. God has spoken. Solomon will be king. His brother will be king. And yet he exalted himself. He was full of pride. Why was this guy full of pride? And his father had not rebuked him at any time. By saying, why have you done so? The father never even said, why have you done so? Never at any time. This is not the first time the father didn't say anything. At no other time did a father ever rebuke him. What happens to a child that's never corrected, never rebuked? All right, this is what happens. They grow up thinking the world surrounds them. They're always disappointed, and they have disappointment after disappointment, and the fall from that top notch is very high, It's very painful. Amen. And we are responsible because we never displease them. Even when we know it's right, we don't speak up. We never dare displease them lest they end up on a talk show saying, my father, the reason I'm like this. We always have this kind of fearful thoughts, and pop psychology is involved in this. God is not telling us to train our children based on psychology. He's telling us to train our children based on His wisdom.